Good evening, students. In today's session, we are going to see about information architecture. So, it is something important, but it's not often visible. It's not often visible. Uh, for example, let's consider a scenario. If you are ever frustrated looking for something online, but there are chances, uh, the chances are poor because of the information architecture. You couldn't find something and you are feeling frustrated about it. Why could that happen? Because of poor information architecture. So, uh, after today's class, we'll be able to figure out how we can structure the apps and websites so that the users can feel confident without being lost somewhere. What we have discussed in the previous class is user flow, like how the user can enter in the app and then what he'll be seeing, after which step which comes. So, how should the user's actual path towards achieving his goal should be, is what we have seen in the last class. And today, what we will be covering is how we can build the information architecture. So, information is the main reason why people are using the application and website. So, uh, why do anyone want to use an application? Because they want to achieve something, they want to buy something, or they want to book something else. What could be the other reason? They want to convey some information to other person, like they want to message to other person, they want to invite other person. So these could be the possible reasons why the people are using application or website, right? So how, how do we deal with the mass of information so that the result makes sense? So there are plenty of information. Then how could we arrange or organize such information that would make create sense for people without making them confused about what they need to do? How can we do that? By the way of organizing the information. So, whether we are looking to buy something or we are looking to learn something or booking something, it's all about finding the right piece of information. Without having a structure, the experience would be like entering a library where the books are thrown around randomly. So, information architecture ensures that everything feels organized, predictable, and easy for the users to use the application, and their experience will be seamless throughout using the application. You have a basic understanding of what does information architecture mean, right? So, we'll also see uh, information architecture is also known as IA in short. So, IA is a way of organizing the content within an app or website. So, we are having an app or a website. So, in that, we'll have to arrange all the information based on the categories, right? So that the user will be finding it easy to search for what he is looking for without having the second thought or without being confused. Uh, Students, please join on time so that you don't miss the important concepts that we are covering. So, we are talking about information architecture in today's class. That's the topic that we are going to discuss today. So, information architecture is about the structure of an application where everything will be arranged or organized in the application, so that it will be easy for the users to find what they are looking for. In short, we have discussed about this. So, how does IA in short is information architecture. So, how does this fit into the UX process? So IA is not done at the end of the UX process, but it's actually in the early stage of the UX phase, that is during the conceptualization or wireframing stage. So what does a good IA mean? It means that it should prioritize the user's journey, like the different phases of the users, like they'll be happy, sad, or they'll be frustrated if some functions not work. So throughout the user journey, it has to be prioritized, and a good IA should balance business goals and technical feasibility, and it should also provide the skeleton upon which we layer visuals later. Okay, so it's going to be uh, like a basic skeleton of the entire application that we'll be designing in the later stage. So UX in general is about the user's feelings. IA is about the structure. Both are equally important. How can we create IA? So these are the things that we have discussed now. It includes users, content, and context. To whom are we designing for? What information will the users look for? What will be the user's behavior, and what kind of experience will the user look for? That is primary in order to structure the IA. And content. So what kind of content will the app have? So all the content we need to list down, and then the context of what would be the user's goal, what are the constraints and resources that they have. So when building IA, we need these three ingredients, that is users, content, and context. So if you are designing a health app, your content is article and tools, your users will be patients, and your context will be healthcare regulations. That will heavily influence your design decisions. You understand, right? With this example, it will be perfect for you to understand, I hope. Understanding business context. So you need to always ask, like you need to start by asking, what is the business model? Example, is it going to be e-commerce or edutech? What is the value proposition? So value proposition in the sense, what makes this app better? Who is the customer actually? Who's my target audience? How will the success be measured? Sometimes business goals and user needs can conflict, like it can be contradictory. பிஸ்னஸோட நீட்ஸ் வேறையாக இருக்கும், யூஸரோட நீட்ஸ் வேறையாக இருக்கும். ஸோ a good UX designer should balance both the business goals and the user needs. Understanding users and their context. Observe, interview, and empathize with your users. So you need to talk with your users during the user interview. During that time, you'll have to observe each and every facial expression they make, each and every move they are trying to make in the application. How are they behaving? Are they feeling what kind of emotion are they feeling? Are they feeling frustrated, happy, satisfied? What kind of emotion are they having? So once we empathize with the user, we can get an understanding of how they are. So During that time we can also get an idea of what they are looking for, what kind of information are they searching for, and where they are expecting that information to be present. Are they expecting the search bar to be in the left side or in the right side? So what kind of uses mental model it is? So how do they mentally organize things? For example, let's imagine a travel booking app. Users may expect flights and hotels to be separate categories, and they do not expect it to be lumped together. Flights will be in the separate tab and hotels will be in the separate category. So that's how categorization they look for. You get an idea with the example, right? So that I'm trying to provide an example with each and every uh, the title or the topic that we are covering. If you have any doubts, you can uh, always ask. You can pass me and ask if you have any doubts. And moving to the next slide, we have understanding content based on user needs. So we need to audit the content carefully. Like audit in the sense, we need to find out uh, what already exists, what needs improvement, what is missing. So you first did the UX audit, right? What are the strengths and weaknesses of an application? So that's what audit actually means. So you need to carefully evaluate what is existing, what needs improvement, like how can we improvise this feature, look for the competitors and analyze like how are they performing in the market, read the reviews which are already existing. So you don't assume all content is valuable just because it is there. Try to prioritize and sort them based on the priority, what is critical, what is most important, and what needs to be reworked or it needs to be removed. We can also do this by doing the user testing, right? So during that time itself we'll understand if the user is actually looking for this particular feature or not. So we'll have an idea whether this content has to be reworked or removed itself. And if it's an existing app, we know that there are information, and what we need to do with that information. We need to arrange what information is required and what is not required. And if there is no content present already, then we should also think upon whether we need to add some content for this particular category or not. So we need to analyze the things on our own, so and also based on the user needs, and also with the information that we got in the user research. With the help of these things, we'll have an idea of what content the user will expect in the app. Design the IA and test. So uh, here we'll have to explore the IA patterns, explore existing IA patterns. If you are redesigning an existing app, for example, you are redesigning um, Airbnb app. So what you will have to do is first write down the IA. You need to work on the IA of the existing app. So அதில் வந்து there will be a navigation bar, and then in each navigation bar what are the things happening in each of the pages. Home pageல என்ன வருது, what are the sections involved in the home page, within that particular section what is involved in that. அதெல்லாம் once you list down each and every category, each and every page, we'll have an idea of how the existing IA pattern looks like. And then once you are redesigning, you can bring in the features which the client or the problem, based on the problem statement what you want to solve. For that motto, what you have to do, you can do the redesigned IA. So we can plan meaningful labels, and we can test the IA with the methods like card sorting, which is our focus today. One is card sorting and another one is tree testing. Tree testing is asking users to find something in a simplified version of our structure. We can revise this based on the feedback that we receive from the users. So once we do the card sorting, we can proceed with the information architecture so that it will be easy for us to uh, work on the structure for the application or the website. So before we proceed with the wireframes or the high fidelity mockups, before we proceed with the UI screens, we need to be uh, building the foundation strong so that we are working on the structure of the application. என்னென்னலாம் வரப்போகுதுன்னு தெரிஞ்சாதானே நம்மளால we can build the wireframe. So designing the navigation. So navigation is not going to be decoration, it's not something aesthetic, it's going to be functional. So every work ஆகுதுங்கிறது தான் navigation. So uh, it could be consisting of menus, breadcrumbs in the sense, இப்போ ஒரு வெப்சைட்டுக்கு போனால் you will be able to find in which page you can locate it, right? That is known as breadcrumbs. I'll show you. See this? So here from the home page you have selected web design and development. In that you are in one article, so you are in this page, so that is known as the breadcrumbs. Current என்ன பேஜ்ல இருக்கோ that will be highlighted. And filters. So these are the important things, like how the user can navigate in which page he is. So எந்த பேஜ்ல இருக்காங்களோ that should be highlighted so that the user will also understand that he is in this page currently, and these may help users move without getting lost. So users would have an idea of in which page they are currently present in. So we need to design navigation after our IA is clear. Is IA the same as UX? Information architecture is going to organize the digital content for user-friendly navigation and understanding. Navigation, same like what I explained in the previous slide, it's going to be the menu, like the bottom navigation menu in the application. There could be home, and if it's an Airbnb app, then what would be in the bottom navigation bar is explore, wish list, trips, profile, messages. These are present in the Airbnb bottom navigation bar. So similar to that, in other apps there will be bottom navigation bar, and whatever is present, that is the navigation. So how are we defining that is the navigation? Is because the user will be able to understand in which page they are, and it will often appear at the top or the bottom of the screen, so that it helps the users navigate through different sections or pages within an application or website. So it also provides a list of links or icons so that the users can quickly access various parts of the content as well, right? So website la pathona, it will be there in the top of the screen, like what we have seen here. It's in the top of the screen. This is the navigation in a website. So if it's an app, it's going to be in the bottom of the app, so that user can quickly switch between one location to another location. If they are in this page and they want to see the reviews, they can directly click on reviews, and there is nested subcategories like a nested menu. On that, clicking a particular review, it directs to that page. So this will be fixed so that user எப்ப வேணாலும் எதுல வேணாலும் they can go. Always the navigation will be fixed, but sometimes there will be hamburger menu. In that, the user can click and then select one particular thing. it's based on the design we want to decide further. But first நம்ம வந்து navigation என்னன்னு தான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறோம். And then there are side navigation bars, as I said earlier, like side navigation bar la வந்து hamburger menu மாதிரி இருக்கும். It will be hidden in the side only with the icon present. So this is how actually the structure of IA will be. We will be exploring further in this session itself. So first main menu, and then what are the navigation menus. In that navigation menu, what will be the sub menus, and the மாதிரி தான் we'll have to write on the IA. So UX with IA. IA and UX, how are they different or are they same? They are like siblings but not twins. They are not actually the same, but they are almost similar. UX means it has emotions, design and flow. On the other hand, IA means it has the content structure. So in UX we'll have to work on the empathy, like the user's feelings, what they are feeling and how we need to design for that, and how will the wireframe be, and how will the user flow or the user's journey will be, what will the user see in each of the phases. That will be covered in the UX. So we'll have to collaborate, and it should be like a collaboration work, and realistic of idea of the final product. So how the final product has to be will be determined in the UX. But in the IA it will involve cognitive effort usage, and the content structure will be determined in the IA, and it will be focused on meeting the user's goals. So UX is the feel of a well organized store. IA is the shelf layout that would make it easy for the users to find the things. So here are the components of IA. What are the things that consists in IA? There will be organization system, like how the information is grouped together, every different categories are irukku அப்படிங்கிறது will be one component. And the second component is labeling system, how the information is labeled. எல்லா இன்ஃபர்மேஷனும் வந்து group பண்ணிடுறோம், and then how the information is named first அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து labeling system. And then there is navigation system, how information is accessed, how the users can access the information. And then there is search system, how information can be found by the user. All four of the components must be thoughtfully designed by the designers, and after that we'll have to build the information architecture. How we can do that is by defining the content. When we are working with the information architecture, we will either need to redesign an existing app or create a new app from scratch. So first we need to decide whether we are going to redesign an existing app that is existing in the market, or altogether are we creating a own new brand. It depends on the client. Like if it's an established brand and they already have an app, during the problem statement we will understand that. So இப்போ வந்து there are only two scenarios. ஒன்று வந்து redesign, இன்னொன்று design from scratch. So if it's redesign, then first we need to design the actual IA. இப்போ கரண்ட்டாக எப்படி இருக்குது, what is the current IA of this application, we'll have to work on that IA, and then we'll do the redesign IA. If it's in new IA that we want to create for a newer brand, then what we have to do is only the new IA has to be created based on the information that we have. And then we'll have to group the content. We need to categorize it logically. By how can we categorize it logically? by involving the similar things that belong together, whatever things that are similar and that they belong together, whatever you think like that, you need to categorize them in one group. Sort the content and then group it under each of the category. Each one will have a main heading, and then what category belongs to that you will have to group down. You can either do this in fig jam, or you can even do it in physical, using the sticky notes. You need to group the things together with logical menus. uh, an activity idea is that you can group real world examples like grocery store items, vegetables, dairy, bakery, like that. Each one will be each group. Vegetables is one group, dairy is one group, bakery is one group, under which cakes, pastries, biscuits will fall under. Something like that is how we can categorize it. This is the basic level to understand. After we categorize each group, we'll have to create a sitemap. A sitemap is going to be a visual map that shows the relationship between different pages. So first will be the home, and home. From home we can shop. In shop we can click on the product details, and on product detail page we can click on the cart, and it leads to the checkout page. How is one page related to other page? That is what sitemap means. It will actually look like a family tree. So it's going to be a diagram that visually it will actually represent the structure and the organization of the website or an app, including all the pages involved, the sections involved, and what are their relationships. So it's like a blueprint for the navigation, and we also need to ensure whether the logical flow is there and it is clear for the users to navigate between each of the pages. So sitemap is a whole different, whole broader concept. It doesn't just organize a website's content and structure. It also displays how the web pages connect and relate, how one page connects to other page, and it also identifies the gaps and prioritize the content as well. So, for example, let's imagine that we are navigating through a complex maze that is loaded with treasures, plenty of which we might miss in the map. So there could be a lot of things involved. Then how can we categorize it? We can categorize it by the way of first building the sitemap, and then we can look through what are the things involved in each, so that we have an idea of how the digital maze is uh, involved. Like, there will be the pages, there will be blog posts, there will be product descriptions, content, contact details. So it's going to be like a blueprint for us to navigate between one category to another, how we can distinguish between one screen to another screen. And then we'll have to outline the navigation structure. We need to think upon how will the users move between different pages. So user wants to move from one page to another page, so we need to think of what are the ways how we can land on one page to another page. For example, if the user wants to, in Zomato, user wants to land on the offers page, either he can click on home, he's on the home page, he can click on one section and the cardல வந்து ஆஃபர்னு போட்டிருக்காங்க, அதை click பண்ணி he can either land on the offer page, or there is a bottom navigation bar, there is offers. In that he can click on that menu and then land on offers page. There are two different ways how he can land on offer page. So that in the navigation structure we'll have to figure out what are the ways and how we can land on each of the pages. So navigation comprises of a collection of UI elements such as menus, breadcrumbs and filters. So in home page, what are the things involved? These are the navigation menus, like the pages. So pages வந்து legends or the notes they have given. Node 1 is clothing. Under clothing, if they click on clothing, they'll be able to find the clothes, and in that there are different clothes involved, different types of clothes involved: shirts, dresses, night dress, pajamas. So these are the things involved in each. So and after that, on search, they have browse entire site. They can browse the entire site in that search. So அது அந்த பேஜை கிளிக் பண்ணால் அதுக்குள்ளே என்ன இருக்குது, and then what is even more in depth on that. And on location, they can click on find locations and map. So one page and then the breakdown of that page, and again on the breakdown what appears. So the breakdown of the pages will be in this form. Label content. So name should actually match the user's expectation. It should be simple and it should not contain any jargon. Like it should be easy for the user to understand, and it should also be giving some meaning. So this, what will the user understand? It may not be easily understandable by the user. We need to use the icon which is easy for the user to understand, same like what they are seeing in the real world. For example, we know that this is cart because the users in the shopping complexes, they will be using this kind of cart, so that they will be able to relate with this cart icon and that cart, so that it can make some sense for the users when they are trying to navigate in your website. If we are simply using this add to basket without giving an icon, then it may not be easy for everyone to use it. Like the function may not be easily understandable by the user just by looking, because it's written it's in written format and there is no visual cues for the users to just identify in one attempt, like just by giving a glimpse. If we add both the icon and the written button, then it will be easy for everyone to quickly get an idea of what that actually means. Wireframing and testing. So wireframes are the early layouts that can help us in testing the IA visually. So now let's move to the types of information architecture. So before we move ahead, I want to ask if you guys have any doubt. Okay. Yeah. Let's move to the types of information architecture. Let me quickly explain each type with real world examples. There is linear navigation. Linear navigation is like straightforward path. It guides the user step by step through process the content or the process. One example would be onboarding tutorials. If you see, In the onboarding screens, there will be the users way, like how they can navigate in the app, like a quick video, like something like in quick self learning process through to guide the users how they can make use of this application. And then there is sequential navigation. So this is kind of form filling flows. Example, booking a ticket. They want to book a ticket, so that what they can do is they want to give the input for each and every field. Then it will be like sequential type of IA. And then there is hierarchical IA. Uh, this would be something like a tree like structure, in which this is more commonly used. So mostly if you are trying to work on a case study, then you will have to work on hierarchical navigation only. So this is how actually the IA will be. In this tree like structure, first you will have the start, and then what are the navigation items involved. In each navigation, what are the pages or the sections involved. If there is a one section, and then there are other things involved as well, then we'll have to nest it down. This is typically used for even e-commerce sites like Amazon, Myntra. Okay. And then we move to next navigation, that is matrix. It is like cross linking everywhere. These are some of the secondary things that you have to know, but it's not necessary that you need to apply these on your case studies. Only hierarchical navigation is important for your case study. So matrix structures will offer users more navigation. It's actually for an example would be Wikipedia. It will be easy for the users to access all the information through links and buttons. You know, if you open Wikipedia, you will have a lot of links involved. And then there is flat navigation. In flat navigation, uh, there it would be like a basic portfolio website. In that, all the uh, important navigation links, for example, it will be like home, about, contact. These are the things that would be involved. It's going to be like a basic portfolio site without involving all the complicated hierarchy or deeper menus. There won't be anything in the nested way. It will be simple. And the last one is content driven navigation. So one example for this would be news portals. Because why news portal? Because they would have the content that defines navigation. The users can freely go through the content, or the content itself defines the navigation. Now, what are the goals of information architecture? There are different goals in the information architecture. Why do we want to prepare the information architecture? It is designed with the users having in mind, so that we are designing the IA only for the users, because users are the ones who will be using our app. So first we need to understand the needs of the users, their expectations, what they want to achieve, their goals, and their mental model. Only by understanding these things we'll be able to organize the content in a way that is aligned with the user's expectations. So we'll also try to understand what does UX mental model mean. UX mental model, a mental model actually refers to users internal representation or the belief about a system or the interface, how it works. So it's like the user's understanding or belief about how something should function, shaped by their past behavior or the experiences and their knowledge. So they will have a set of ideas or the expectations how this app actually has to work. um, Example, if the back button is always placed in the top left corner and they always want it be in the same way in your app as well, you can't change it and place it somewhere else, because their way of understanding the things, how the apps will actually work, their familiarity model is designed in that way. So we should also follow some of the things that should actually work and that should actually meet their expectations. How is the mental model formed is by their previous experiences. uh, for example, if you have used many online stores that require you to enter a credit card number to complete a purchase, then your mental model might be that's how all online stores will actually work. And how are these mental models used in UX design? These mental models are used to design user friendly interfaces and to develop the designs that are matching the real users expectations. And we are trying to uh, organize the grocery list for a app. Okay, so in that, if the users expect uh, to be able to add items by tapping on a button, so users when the director they want to tap on a button and then they want to add it to the uh, grocery list. For example, Blinkitல எப்படி இருக்கும், we can see a list of items and then we can just click add and then it adds to the grocery list without having a complex structure, like we need to click on the drop down and then select the number of items required. After that it gets added to the cart, and then on clicking the cart button only we'll be able to view what are the items that we have added. That is a complex process, right? So instead of having the drop down and instead of making the users go to the cart and then view, we can just have it in one click. Like they can just click on plus or minus. They can click on plus and then it gets added to the cart, and the cart is visible on the home screen itself, so that it will be easy for the users, the experience will be easy. Same like how they are shopping it in real time in the supermarket, how they are shopping, they can see the cart items what is present in their cart. So if they want to add something new they can add, or if they want to remove they can remove it from their cart. So that's how it should match the real world experiences as well. So now this is all about the mental model. Moving back to the goals of information architecture, these are the 5 goals of IA: user centered organization. So having the users in mind, we'll have to work on the IA so that it will be easy for them to find the information that they are actually looking for. And then findability, this is one of the important objectives of IA, so that the user will be easy uh, to find what they are looking for. And then they'll also find out the easy paths, so that it will be easy for them to find the things that they are looking for, the content that they are looking for, without having so much of confusion where that actually is. And this could also improve the user's ability to navigate throughout the product, like they can uh, easily find out what they are looking for. And scalability, wherein the products can continue to grow and evolve and people can easily adapt to it, because it follows a familiarity concept. And it's also scalable, like we can integrate with the new content and features, because the users are more used to these kind of applications, so that we can introduce the features as well, and it can also remain organized and functional. So once we are updating with features and the new content, we should also update the information architecture. ஸோ நம்ம வந்து இட்ஸ் கோயிங் டு பி கண்டினியூஸ் ஐட்ரேட்டிவ் ப்ராசஸ் தான். நம்ம வந்து புதுசாக அதுக்கப்புறம் ஃபீச்சர்ஸ்லாம் ஆட் பண்ணிடுறோம். ஃபீச்சர்ஸ்லாம் ஆட் பண்ணாலுமே கூட we should be updating the IA structure. We should be coming back to this process and then updating it. So a good IA will grow naturally, but a bad IA will grow messy and it's going to confuse the users. Consistency across designs. So IA is going to promote the uniformity in how the users are going to see different information, and it's also going to be consistent, like it should be easy for them to access, and they should have a clear view, like எந்த இடத்துக்கு போனால் என்ன நடக்கும் அப்படிங்கிறது. they'll have to have an idea of how this app will actually perform. They know how to refer a friend. They should know how to okay, let me bring in some example for this. They should know where to go in order to purchase in offer. So if they want to purchase something in offer, or if they want to purchase something in their budget, it should be under 499 only. Then what they have to do is what they need to know. In Myntra, they can scroll down in the home page itself and then find out that option to purchase within 499. Or if they want to purchase within 499, and how they usually people will do in other e-commerce platforms like Myntra, Ajio or Amazon, what they will actually do is they'll search for what they are looking for. For example, I'm searching for dress in Myntra, and then I'm getting a search list of dresses. That is the product listing page. In that there will be filter. In that filter I can click on what I can click on the category. So once I click on the category, I'll get the price range enabled. So in that price range I can select from 100 to 499 or whatever amount that I want. In that itself they are also showing the number of products available in that range, so that it will the users will have an idea of how they can select between this range in this app or this kind of applications. So Myntra madri or app, if you are designing, LimeRoad is there, one app that is buy unlimited store. So if you are designing for such kind of applications, you need to understand these concepts, how you can maintain the consistency across designs, and how can you maintain the efficiency in sense it's going to minimize the efforts or the cognitive load of the users without giving them overload of information. There should not be heavy information which the user might not be able to digest. So the information should be crisp, and it should be easy for the users to identify what they are looking for. நிறைய இன்ஃபர்மேஷனை வச்சு we should not overload the information to the user, so that the user might not remember where they have seen which. Okay, so it should you should give a satisfying experience for the user. Now let's see what is cart sorting. So this is the agenda for cart sorting. First let's see what is cart sorting. Cart sorting is a way to understand how users think things actually should be grouped. What are the things that needs to be grouped in one category? What is there in the user's mind? Users தான் வந்து இந்த குரூப்பில் இந்த இந்த பர்டிகுலர் இது வந்து இந்த கேட்டகரிக்குள்ளே தான் வரும், இந்த மெனு ஐட்டம் வந்து இந்த கேட்டகரிக்குள்ளே தான் வரும் அப்படின்னு யூசர்ஸ் வில் ஹாவ் இன் தேர் மைண்ட்ஸ். ஸோ it is a UX research method where the participants group information cards into categories, revealing how users naturally organize content. So this activity has to be done either by the user group or the participants that will be recruiting for the card sorting activity, or by the designers based on the users in the mind. Okay. So for example, we'll also see an example for this in the upcoming slides. Why do we need to do card sorting? Before that, we'll just have an idea of what card sorting means. So it's a easy way for us to easy way to organize the information and the navigation for the product from the user's perspective. So card sorting is a UX research method where we can understand the user's mental model of how they want the information to be organized for our application. So it will also help us to identify how the users are looking for this information in our website. So we can also meet the users' need in that way. Why are we trying to use the card sorting? We are using the card sorting to plan the navigation structure and labels that are matching the real user expectations. So user வந்து ஒரு ஆப்க்கு வந்தாங்கன்னா they'll have to look for what is in the home page, what section is in home page, and within what are the sections which the users will expect in the product listing page. If they click women dresses, what are the products which they'll look for, and what is the best way to present information to the user in order for them to find it and complete a task. So here why is the card sorting needed? Because we have to identify what are the things that needs to be present in each of the screens, and the participants can search for the information and then browse through it. So as a designer, it is important for us to effectively arrange the information which the user are looking for in each of the pages. And here the process is participants first. So how can we do this card sorting? Is by giving them a pre-written card. So first we will have to write down each of the information in each of the cards. Like first வந்து Myntra we'll have the same example. In Myntra there are different categories. Okay, ethnic னு இருக்கு, footwear இருக்கு, and then what are the other things that we are having? Grooming, jewelry, footwear, and there is baby care. So these are the things that first we need to write down in the sticky notes. Once we write down, we'll send these sticky notes to the participants either online, digitally. We'll write down them in the card sorting way, and then share the FigJam link to the participant, or if it's a physical form, you'll invite the participants to your place. Okay, so what they are to do is they'll receive these pre-written cards. Each will be the information type that I just mentioned. Okay, now they have to group them in each category. So if it's baby care, then it will come under kids. Baby care வந்து kidsல fall ஆகும். And then if it's jewelry, mostly women will be using, so in women category it will fall down. And footwear will fall down both on women and on the men's category. And grooming, it will actually fall for men category. So based on this, we'll have to arrange the cards. Us as designers will have to arrange, or the participants, you will have to give them instructions and then they'll arrange it. So what is card sorting in information architecture? First, we'll have to prepare content as cards. So same like what I have been explaining in the previous slide. First, there needs to be content written in each of the card, each of the key sticky notes. Once all the sticky notes are written down with the contents, there will be a deck of cards. Put them in random. It can be random. Okay. First, we need to prepare for the uh, card sorting workshop in that way. இந்த கார்ட் sorting பண்ணுறது தான் வந்து கார்ட் sorting workshopனு சொல்லுவோம். In that the participants will be involved. So you can also do it with the fellow designers or the other people whom you think can complete this task. Okay. And you need to ask the users to group them logically. So they'll have to categorize them on each group, and then they'll have to name that group. So you should not name that group. இந்த குரூப் இருக்குன்னா அந்த குரூப்க்கு வந்து அவங்க தான் நேம் பண்ணணும். There are different categories. So first வந்து stack of cards நம்ம எழுதிடுவோம், and then the participants will sort the cards into groups. There are shoes, backpack, sunglass, trousers. So the user is grouping them. Shoes and sunglass தனியாக வச்சுருக்காங்க one group. Dresses, coats and trousers are in another group. Backpack, tote bag and fanny pack are in another group. And then we are asking them to assign a name for each group, so that they are giving a name for each group. This is under clothing and this is under accessories, but it is not logical. Dresses வந்து clothingல தான் வரும், and coats and trousers, this will also come under clothing. So accessoriesனு தனியாக ஒரு மெனு இல்லாமல் நம்ம அதையும் கிளாத்திங்கில் தான் எடுத்துகிட்டு வரணும் ஆக்சுவலாக. அண்ட் பேக்ஸில் வந்து தீஸ் ஆர் தி திங்ஸ் தட் இஸ் இன்வால்வ்ட். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி அவங்க தப்பாக ஆக்சசரிஸ்னு வைக்கக்கூடாது. அதனால் வில் ஹாவ் டு ஆஸ்க் தெம் டு லாஜிக்கலி குரூப் இட் அண்ட் கிவ் வை, ஆஸ்க் ஃபார் அ ரீசனிங் வை தே ஹவ் குரூப்ட் இட் இன் சச் அ வே. And there could also be another example where we can give the health app features, like 10 cards 10 features we can have, and then ask them to group it first and then assign a name for each group. If it's your problem statement, then you can give all the features in this card format. 20 to 30 cards நீங்கள் எழுதிட்டு அந்த ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் எல்லாம் உங்கள் யூசர் இல்லை பார்ட்டிசிபெண்ட் ஆர் அதர் டிசைனர் இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம்லேயே you can ask them to group it in such a way and then ask them to give a name for each of the groups, and then ask them the question. So அந்த பார்ட்டிசிபெண்ட் வந்து ஏன் இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, ஏன் இந்த லாஜிக், வாட் இஸ் த லாஜிக் பிஹைண்ட் இட். there is no right or wrong way of grouping. Okay, so just ask for their thoughts, why, what is the reasoning behind having it under this group. And you can also listen while they are trying to explain, and don't project what are your thoughts on them. Okay, just be open to whatever they are saying. And naming the categories, and they can also call each category with the name from their perspective, so they can name it whatever they want. Open, there are different types of card sorting. Okay, what we have just seen is open card sorting. It's it lets users create their own groups. அவங்களே தானே அசைன் பண்ணுறாங்க. The name that they are going to give for each group is going to be decided by the participants itself. Then it is open card sorting. What are the pros and cons? What is it good for? Open card sorting is actually useful to improve the existing app or existing ones, and it also helps us in identifying the patterns which the users expect to find content. And what is the disadvantage in it is, so I've not added in this is just a template, so that So let me tell what are the pros and cons on open card sorting. So in this, if we see, uh, actually it uncovers the natural mental models, like the participants can create their own categories by revealing how they naturally think about the content, and this could also give us deeper insights into the user expectations, and they can come up with better naming conventions without sticking to the actual group items that we are going to create, or the actual menu items. By the way, on the other hand, what is going to be the disadvantage of open card sorting is that there will be different lot of variations. ஒரு யூசர் கிட்டயும் நம்ம ஒரு யூசர் குரூப்போ இல்லை ஒரு யூசர் கிட்டயும் நம்ம வந்து கார்ட் சார்ட் பண்ண சொல்லிடுவோம்ல. இந்த மாதிரி கார்ட் சார்ட்டிங் ஆக்டிவிட்டி ஷுட் be done by each one of the user. There will be like 5 users or 3 users that they have to work on the card sorting. So this could also be time consuming, and each of the response that we get from each of the participant will be different. So it will be hectic for us when it comes to grouping for us. So it could also be messy sometimes. There will be inconsistent grouping, so that we can't directly implement them in our designs. And then there is closed card sorting. So in closed closed card sorting, it's going to be a predefined category that we'll be giving them. So what are the advantages and disadvantages here is that we'll give them the predefined categories, so the user can just focus on placing the items. They need not create one separate group. Like அவங்க வந்து அந்த குரூப்க்கு பேர் வைக்க வேண்டாம். நம்மளே வந்து we'll give them the name for each group, and then they'll have to just place the stick notes in each of the group, so they can easily analyze how many items, how many times an item was placed in each category. They'll have a better structure. And if we are having a lot of items, like 50 plus items, like 50 plus features நம்ம கிட்ட இருக்கு அப்படின்னா, this closed sorting will prevent overwhelming the participants, because the category choices are limited. நம்ம வந்து 4 category choices தான் கொடுக்குறோம், அதுக்குள்ளேயே எல்லாமே அவங்க ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணோன்னா தென் அவங்க வந்து தனியாக குரூப்லாம் க்ரியேட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்கல்ல. வாட் எவர் groups that we have created, in that only they will have to place it down, so that it will be easy for them. But what are the disadvantages over here is that the participants cannot suggest new categories, and it will also reinforce existing bias. Like the initial categories that are poorly designed by us, நம்ம வந்து சரியாக பண்ணாமல் இருந்தோம்னா, in that box itself they'll have to work on the card sorting. So open card sorting was closed card sorting. In one line, how we can say is, open card sorting is for the users to discover what they think. Closed card sorting is for us to tell if this organization makes sense to you. And there is also hybrid. And hybrid will be using both the methods, that is open and closed methods. So there will be all the best of both the worlds. Like participants are given with some of the predefined categories, but they also have the freedom to create new groups if it's required. So this will be the better choice rather than opting for open card sorting or closed card sorting. So in that we can get a structured data plus user driven insights. And then this will be easy for them to analyze than open sort, like since you have predefined categories, most data will be easy to compile, and it is also good for complex content, like there is a broad content available for your application, it's a complex application, then hybrid sorting will help users in guiding organization without overwhelming them. But there are also disadvantages in hybrid card sorting, like it is a bit more complex to set up, like the users may not be easily understanding what does a complex card sorting mean. You should carefully decide which categories to predefine and which where to allow flexibility, where the users can uh, create groups on their own. And some participants might get confused, like some could be unclear as well. So when to use which card sorting, it involves a number of factors, like uh, you can create hybrid card sorting if you are trying to test and explore together, or you can create an open card sorting if you are trying to create categories freely. So based on your intention of how this app is going to be, you can decide which card sorting you need to go for. So this is all about the card sorting activity which we have been discussing. So I hope you guys got an idea of how the information architecture will be and how the card sorting will be. So first we'll have to work on the card sorting activity and then proceed with the information architecture. So for your assignment, take away homework that you have to do. We'll have 1 week timeline for this. You can submit after 1 week on next Monday. So in this, what you have to do is, you guys would have picked a problem statement. For that, you need to identify and list 20 to 30 content items as a part of your solution, whatever features that you have for the problem statement. Okay, for that, what all the content can be added is the features or the functionalities, the content categories, that is the naming, the group name. If first decide whether you are going to go for open card sorting, closed or hybrid. Okay, based on that, you choose whether you need to include the group name or not. And then the users task, what they have to do, give the instructions for the users, write on them. And then the information elements, the key screens involved or the pages involved. So uh, basically the features will be the primary thing that you will have to uh, write down for 20 to 30 card items. Like if it's an e-commerce app, then same like what we have discussed for Myntra, there will be t-shirts, dresses. So these will be coming under both men and women and even kids. So shoes and jewelry, so these are some of the things how you can group them. Payment options, a wish list, order uh, history. So think of what are the things that will come under which category. You can try to recruit participants and do that, will be even better. Or you can even uh, get the user insights, like the identify the user needs and try to do it on your own. Prepare the cards, you can either do it digitally by using FigJam. So here I have also tried to bring one template. So in this template, this will be the template actually, section 1, section 2, this will be the template and this will be the sticky notes. And here you can just bring down, uh, you can drag and drop each of the feature in each of the category. Like one category will be study, one category will be about us. In about us, what are the things that will be involved? News will be there, facilities and resources, how to find us, our history. You can even share this if it's required, or another template is here. Events killer, what are the events, like eventsல என்னென்னலாம் பார்ப்பாங்க, in social media what is there, and contact what is there. Even if it's something else required, you can just add. I'll share this template with you. This is an example which I tried to I try to create so that you will have an understanding. There will be smartphones, laptops, tablets, headphones, bluetooth speakers. இது வந்து ஒரு e-commerce பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்காக டிசைன் பண்ணுறேன். If my problem statement is like solving an if my problem statement is to solve the users, like make the users buy the products which they want, something like I want to create an app like Amazon. So for that, these are the products that I have. How will I categorize these? இதெல்லாமே வந்து under which category will it fall? Electronics. Okay, so electronics வந்து navigation, electronics குள்ள போனா இதெல்லாம் we can find out. These will come under the clothing, and yes, everything will come under the clothing, and this may be, yeah, everything will come under clothing. So based on that we can categorize it. எந்த கேட்டகரியில் என்ன வரும், we can just drag and drop. First we need to create the content cards like this, and then we can drag and drop. I'll just share this. I've shared it. Sharing it. This is the template that you can use for creating this cart sorting. So you can create these cards into the logical categories by yourself, or you can test with 2-3 classmates, the other people who are there in your in this meeting itself. You can ask their help, and then you can ask them to group it so that you will also have an idea, or you can even recruit participants outside. And while you are doing this grouping, you need to find out what are the common categories, and are there any confusing items, and how this app menu can be organized better. Is it meeting the needs of the users, and what are the primary things which the user will actually look for. So if there is anything important with you think that there is anything important which the user will actually look for, then you just take a star and then add it. Okay, so that we can also prioritize it in the later stages. Here maybe in the study they will look for online study, so that's important, so that we are just adding a star, so that while we are designing in the user interface time also we can get an idea. So இதை வந்து prioritize பண்ணி காட்டணும். So how can we enhance it and show, அது வந்து first fold இருக்கணும், ஆப்போட first fold இருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி we will have an idea. And then submission. So you prepare a short presentation on the case study, the screenshot. So அதான் basically we will have to work on the case study. For that only I've added this. You can also add the key insights, like how did you plan and organize this card sorting activity. And if possible, if you are trying to recruit the participants and do, or if you are trying to do with the other people in your class, then you just click some snapshots or photos, so that it will give more value. So what do you need to bring to the next class? For this submission date is on next week Monday. So what you will have to bring is the problem statement which you have already worked on. A few of you guys have given me the problem statement, okay, but whoever hasn't worked on it yet, those people have to bring the problem statement and the content inventory cards, that is the cards for the card sorting, the 20 to 30 cards. So those cards you can either do it physically in FigJam. Yeah, I advise you guys to do it in FigJam. Only then we'll be able to see. You can just collaborate on work as well. And then the user needs analysis, like what are the user's expectations, what is important feature, by giving a star to the important features. And then your reflection, like what are the insights that you got from this workshop. So and this is for sitemap creation. It's actually like an information architecture. So once you are done with the uh, once you are done with the card sorting activity, we'll proceed with the information architecture. So based on those results from the card sorting activity, you can list down the primary navigation menu items, like what are the primary navigation and then what comes under each. So I think this deadline submission is fine for you to complete both the tasks. Even in this you will have to what are the levels involved in each hierarchy. Navigation is what you have to focus on, hierarchy information architecture. So in that what will come under each of the pages and what will be the category and subcategory in each. So that's all about it. So the timeline is 1 week. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Do you need any clarification in the previous classes that we have taken, or in the case study that you are working on? Yes or no? Hello? Yes. Someone had left the room. Okay. So it's actually the both information architecture and user flow both are going to be similar, but to give a clear explanation of how both are different. User flow is the path a user takes to complete a specific goal in the application. So it involves the steps a user need to take, the decisions that they need to make, and the screens that they'll have to pass through, and the actions they'll have to perform. So let's take the same example like we did a flight. So we want to book a flight on a travel app. So in that the user flow will be, first the user will be landing on the home page, and then they'll be searching the flight, selecting a flight, entering the payment details, making the payment, and the confirmation, like the booking will be confirmed. This is the path of user flow. When it comes to IA, information architecture is the way how we can content and features are organized, structured, labeled, so that it will help the users to find information easily. It shows how the content will be structured, the navigation menus, the category grouping, labeling, and the search systems. So, for the same travel app that we discussed for the user flow, the IA would be flights. Under flights, you have domestic and international. So, this is what information architecture mean. There will be top level menus like flights, hotels, packages, and support. These are the top level menus. In flights, there will be subcategories, that is domestic and international. This is information architecture. You get an idea, right? Maybe I will also try to explain it in this way. First, let's take user flow. In that, we have home, what the user is, what the path which the user is taking. First, when he is landing on the home page, and then he wants to book a flight. Okay. Goal. What is the goal is? So, a user is landing on the home page, and then he wants to book a flight. So, he is searching for flights. He is selecting a flight after searching. And after he selects, what he has to do is he need to enter the details. Why he need to do why he has to enter the details is to book the flight ticket. Once he does that, he can proceed with the payment, and then booking will get success. The payment success message will be shown. This is an example of user flow. Now, when it comes to information architecture or IE, so what is the goal is same. Wants to book a flight on a travel app. So what the user can find, the top in the top menu categories, he will be able to find flights, hotels, packages, support. Usually these are the things that you'll be able to find in the see flights, hotels, trains, buses. So here he is able to find these things in the top main menu. In the main menu, he is seeing these things. So under flights, So this organization is information architecture, and this is the user flow. Whatever the user goes through in each of the phase while he is trying to perform an action. I hope you got an idea for the difference between user flow and information architecture. So, for our case study, we will have to infuse every idea or only whatever is necessary for the case study. So, it's not necessary that you need to incorporate everything in your case study, but just to give you a basic understanding of how each and every process will be in UX UI design, we'll have to know each and everything, right? So, if you want a specific problem statement for only this, then I can provide you with that if it's not necessary for your case study. Or else you can also try with the same, but it's not necessary that you need to incorporate everything. Then thank you guys, see you tomorrow.